After being introduced as an antagonist in Super Mario Land 2, it became clear that the castle wasn't the only thing that Wario would steal from his Red Clan nemesis. In 1994, he stole an entire franchise with the release of Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, and it would stay that way, with the next few games starring the cromulent conqueror being given the Wario Land label. The game picks up soon after the last Mario Land game, with Wario's pride still hurt from his previous loss. Looking for a way to get back on his feet, Wario finds the perfect opportunity when he hears of a massive theft. A huge, multi-story tall statue of Princess Peach was somehow stolen by a nasty gang known as the Black Sugar Pirates, led by the ruthless Captain Syrup. Upon seeing this news, it all comes together in his head. He'll beat up the pirates, shake them down for cash, and take the reward money for the missing statue. With all that dough, he can afford his own castle, and won't have to deal with Mario at all. It seems like the perfect plan. I like how, despite making Wario our nominal hero, he still isn't exactly a heroic character. He's still as rude, crude, mean, and selfish as ever. It's only the subject of his malice that's changed. Before we continue, if you like Wario or anything else Nintendo, I suggest checking out the other content on this channel. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want to keep updated on my new content. And now, let's explore Wario Land. Wario tracked the pirates to their base of operations on Kitchen Island, making landfall on Rice Beach, where he swiftly beat the first of the pirates' bosses, a spiked Koopa who visually looks similar to the Bros family of enemies. He next climbed Mount Teapot, and capped it off with a fight against his guardian, the Minotaur. Taking a quick detour to Sherbert Land in order to deal with Chili the Penguin, he got back on track deep in Stove Canyon, where he came face to face with the terrifying Devil's Hand. He hopped aboard their ship, defeating Bobo the Watch in the Crow's Nest, and then the greedy ghost known as Bobo in Parsley Woods. Along the way, Wario collected a huge amount of golden treasures from throughout the island, lining his pockets with all the cash he could get his grubby hands on. But all of this was peanuts compared to his final goal, the statue, waiting him with the captain inside Syrup Castle. When he reached her, Syrup summoned her most powerful ally, a large genie contracted to serve the pirate. Wario uses the genie's own lamp to defeat him, severing the contract with Syrup and causing her in a last-ditch effort to blow up the castle, revealing the giant statue of the princess at its core. There it is. Wario has finally found his ticket to the good life. But before he knows it, someone else swoops in and takes the statue. And who else could it be but, of course, that accursed Mario, once again flying his airplane to Skyprop. With barely any acknowledgement of Wario, the hero of the Mushroom Kingdom reclaims the ill-gotten statue and returns home, with Wario suddenly out of his prize. However, Wario once again stumbles across the genie. Upon sharing his woes with the creature, the genie makes a deal. He will provide Wario with a new castle of his own in return for all the golden treasure he collected throughout the game. There are 6 different endings depending on how much treasure Wario collected. But, as shown in Wario Land 2, the second best ending, the castle, is the canon one. And with that, Wario gets the castle of his dreams, and we leave him, for one fleeting moment, happy. With the main storyline out of the way, I want to shift our gaze back onto the pirates. You may notice that the name I used for them, the Black Sugar Pirates, is slightly different from their English name in this game, which was the Brown Sugar Pirates. That's because the Black Sugar name is used not only in the Japanese, but also in Wario Land 2, so clearly this is the more accurate term for them. I've made mention of the most powerful pirates, the bosses, but have neglected to discuss the grunts. The only ones that I think are particularly notable are the Gooms, which seem to be related to Goombas somehow. They visually look most similar to Galoombas, which were introduced in Super Mario World. As previously mentioned, we also see Koopa similar to a Hammer Bro as the first boss. The first time we've seen Goombas or Koopas who don't work directly for Bowser. Wario also has his own power-ups that we don't see in other games. There are 3. The Dragon, which spits fire, the Bull, which makes him stronger and allows him to ground pound, and the Jet, which allows him to fly. Yeah, one of these seems very different from the others. The way that Wario's transformations work shifts a lot starting in Wario Land 2, so this is the only time we get to see these ones, though the Bull's abilities seem to make their way into Wario's main moveset as time goes on. I also wanted to discuss the Genie. His most obvious actions in this game are his defense of Captain Syrup and the creation of Wario's castle, but the game seemed to imply he did a little more than that. For one, Wario is, for some reason, shown to be immortal in Wario Lands 2 and 3. This is commonly accepted as being another gift from the genie, though that's never officially stated anywhere. I also have a theory going on about Sherbert Castle, but honestly, it's highly speculative, so I think I'll give it its own video sometime soon. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see that. On the timeline, this game very clearly goes after Super Mario Land 2, since Wario's actions in this title are direct consequences of his loss in that game. This game is currently not available anywhere, but I'd be very surprised if it never wound up on Nintendo Switch Online, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested in playing the game. Next time we see Wario, he'll be facing off against a new foe in the final game released by Nintendo on the NES. I'll see all of you next time.